Welcome to Roll for Imagination, a Dungeons & Dragons podcast where a group of friends separated by distance dive headfirst into the wonderful world of D&D. I'm Beth and I play Eva Starry in Roll for Imagination, and I'm joined today by Jamie, who plays Shaxori.
Hello.
Welcome to the episode upload. I don't know what to call this. First things first, Georgie, who plays Selkath, is unfortunately not very well today, so she couldn't join us. And Joe, who plays Kalilius, is currently enjoying a lovely week away with his partner, but he sends his hello. Now, today's upload is a little different than usual. You might have noticed that a lot has changed around here recently. Our previous DM has made the difficult decision to step away from the group and the podcast. So out of respect, we have also come to the decision to remove our previously uploaded episodes and social media posts. But the show does not end here. We will be continuing Roll for Imagination with Georgie as our DM. We'll be transitioning to a new campaign and a world she has been lovingly creating for us. Still with our current characters, and we are really looking forward to exploring this new world with all of you. We're really grateful for everyone that has followed along our journey so far. We're really grateful for anybody who's joining us new for this new start, and we're just really excited to see where the new world takes us. With all that being said, we wanted to celebrate everything that we have created together so far. We wanted to go through some of the exciting changes that we're making and talk about the future for Roll for Imagination. We're also going to drop some little audio teasers for our upcoming content, so stay tuned until a bit further on for that. But firstly, I think it would be so fun and reflective of us to look back on how Roll for Imagination even started, because it was never a podcast to begin with. We never went into this with the intention of this group will make a podcast. We just started playing and it kind of happened.
Yeah. It was through... Oh, hang on. I hit my mouse then. It was through... I want to say Facebook, actually, which is very, very not Gen Z of me, but I want to say it was through Facebook. I think Joe had posted something that their group was looking for new people to join. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 people they were looking for. And I had just come off the back of a one-shot that I had done, and I was like, right, that's it. I want to do a proper game now. I'm ready to start properly playing D&D. So my first one-shot ever was that one-shot, and then I saw Joe's post, and I figured I'll reach out and see if they still need a player, and here I am.
And we wouldn't have it any other way. I think you joined right before me, didn't you? At the time I was playing in, I think, like 1 or 2 in real life D&D games, and one of them was kind of fizzling out, the other one was brand new, and I wanted something with like depth to it, like real depth in the characters and the storyline and the world. And Joe's post, in typical Joe fashion, was really detailed and written beautifully, and I thought this seems like a good campaign to get involved with. So I messaged Joe, and I think we set up a call quite quickly, and then before you knew it, we were doing the campaign with zero intention of doing a podcast. We've been playing together for actually quite a long time now, compared to how long it feels.
Oh god, I want to say May, but I could be making that up.
Oh my god, that's like
I'm
6
going to go
months.
through my history and see when Joe messaged me. I think it was May.
Yeah, just for reference for people listening, it's October right now. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I messaged Joe at the end of May. So I would have joined around the end of May, and I think we would have set up a call for everyone to talk about it or get an introduction, and then we didn't start playing sessions until a few weeks after that, so maybe June, July-ish we started playing.
That's crazy. Oh my god, as if it's been that long.
So it's like half a year ago. That's gross.
And the weirdest thing is, well, I don't know if it's that weird, but like we've obviously been playing D&D together for this long. We've been doing the podcast. I feel like I class you guys all as really good friends, but we've never met in person.
Not yet. what is it, 3 weeks?
2.5?
2 weeks and like 4 days.
Oh my god, yeah, that's so exciting. We are actually going to London Comic Con, and it will be the first time me or Jamie have met any of the group in person.
Joe and Georgie have met and they've hung out for, I think they did a convention at some point, some gaming thing, whatever it was. But yeah, the rest of us, I say the rest of us, there's 2 of us.
There's 2 left.
Me and Beth haven't met anyone else, so it's actually going to be the first time, which is fun.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. So back to how Roll for Imagination started. I think we're at the point where we were playing sessions together, and then who was it who suggested doing the podcast?
I don't remember. I feel like it was sort of a joint thing. I feel like we'd sat in a call and it was sort of something came up and we were like, oh, should we just start recording and putting it places? And everyone was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, because I think our previous DM had talked about doing maybe like charity live streams, and he liked to talk about the campaign on social media, and I think someone just was like, why don't we just record this? Let's just record it and make it a podcast. And that's how it all began. And then we started working on it, and we were still playing sessions every week, just like unrecorded, and it genuinely took about 3 months from that first idea to then actually making or like recording a podcast, because we were working on the branding, and we were obviously working on the campaign and getting to know each other as players a bit better. And then we were like, oh, on this date we're going to just record our session and start uploading from then onwards. And it did. And then we always said, like, if we get you know, us listening to it and that's it, like, we would have been so happy with that, because it's like, you know, we're doing it for ourselves, for fun. Like, we've really enjoyed doing it, and we just didn't really expect like the numbers that we got so quickly. So when we took the episodes down just in the last week or so, our numbers were like 200 listens, which is absolutely wild, because we imagined like the 5 of us and maybe like 1 person, but to know that there's people out there listening to what we put out, that's insane.
Yeah, definitely. Because again, even if it was just for us to have, we then have that record of what we've done, and I'm very scatterbrained, so having something to be able to refer back to is good. But the fact that we can also put it out there and other people are listening to it, or were listening to it, and now we restart so they can listen to the new stuff as well, is a weird concept that other people can listen to it, but it's good. It's great.
And it's so cool as well when people, like, we see the analytics and the figures, but then when people actually comment on the show and comment on the characters, like, that feels really, really special. Like, it's our little characters, but it's more than just our little world. Like, we've been able to expand this world and let other people in, and when people talk to us about it, that's just like proof that they are invested in the story and invested in our characters, and it's just crazy to me.
I've had people mention, it was more around our episode 0 that we had about our characters, because again, they're quite long episodes, so it makes sense why people wouldn't be able to listen to them straight away, but maybe listen in snippets. But I did have a couple of people sort of say to me about the episode 0 and like, oh, this character seems really cool, they're so fun, like, they sound like they're going to be cool to explore and stuff like that. So that was crazy as well, because again, there are characters in like our campaign, but now other people get to enjoy them as well, which is strange. Weird. Yeah,
it's just so cool. And another cool moment was when we got our character art back. So it was quite a lot of back and forth thing, because we just wanted it to be right, and we'd invested so much into these characters that we wanted the character art to be kind of to really embody our characters. But the moment we got that back, and I remember one day I was creating a graphic or something, and it was the first time I'd put all of our character art together on one graphic, and seeing it all come together like that and all of our characters standing together, it was such a surreal moment. But I think, did you find the artist, Jamie?
Yes, I think it was probably me and Joe were sat on, so we got the artist from Fiverr, very easy website to pull people from and not have to sort of back and forth about pricing. It's just there in front of you, so it's nice and easy. But yeah, I think me and Joe were back and forth on Fiverr shooting artists across and seeing what we could find, and then we found, I can't remember his name, but we found the guy that we used, and now we have a character art, and it's really cool. It's like comic book style, which is nice.
Yeah, it's all so cool, honestly. If you haven't checked out the character art yet, you can look on our socials that we'll plug at the end, and you can have a look, because I really like it. I really like it. So that's kind of how it all started and where we were at before this moment in time. And now we're kind of at a point where, like I say, we did take down all of our current episodes and a lot of things, but we are keeping the same characters and taking them through to our new campaign, which in a sense will tie in a little bit with our old campaign. So if you have been listening, storyline wise, it will make sense. But also if you're new here, you don't need to know what's been going on for it to make sense. And it's really exciting because, you know, we've launched a podcast. We've done this now. This is like round 2. So I believe we're going to be bigger and better. Like, how could we not? But on that note about what's new and what's changing, I thought it would be interesting maybe if, Jamie, you talk about some of the branding changes that we're making, because we didn't want everything to be completely different, but also not completely the same. It's still the same brand. We're still Roll for Imagination, but we wanted a bit of a refresh, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, so we're sticking with sort of the baseline theme that we had with the open book and the dice and obviously the same name. And it just so happened that our last logo was sort of had a purple background, and this new campaign, obviously finding amethysts are purple. So we've just sort of stuck with the purple, but in a new refreshed way, rebooted.
Or unless you are stupid like me, I was like, I'm so excited, like let's do blue lightning background because it's like amethysts are blue, and Joe was like, Beth, amethysts are purple, it's still purple.
Yeah, it was almost like if we're having this fresh start anyway, why not also refresh what we already have, just so it doesn't feel like it's the same thing and like we're just reusing something. It's a little bit newer without being completely different, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and also because of Georgie's campaign, which I don't want to say too much about because we are going to put in a snippet in a moment of her talking about it, because obviously she couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately. But yeah, she's going to record as a snippet so you guys can get like an introduction to the campaign, which we're going to put in just a moment. But her campaign is more creepy. It's more of a like spooky style, I guess. It's giving like Coraline, it's giving Tim Burton, it's giving Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, Coraline, Alice in Wonderland type things, which is right up my street, so I'm so excited.
So because of this, we wanted to make the branding a bit creepier, a bit darker, a bit less, you know, I feel like the lightning is very like fantasy, high fantasy, which is kind of what the campaign was before, whereas now it's a bit more creepy Tim Burton. Let's get a bit of weirdness in the logo, and that's kind of where we've tried to go with it, so I hope that comes across. And on the topic of this new campaign, I thought this would be a really good time to insert the clip of Georgie introducing us to Finding Amethyst. So roll the clip.
Oh dear little dollies, did you really think you'd get away from me? Running away into that other world? Oh, well, it's good you're back. I've missed you.
Where are we? And there we go. There's the mini teaser for Finding Amethyst. Like I say, it's creepy, but it is going to be so exciting to play our characters. Our lovely, fluffy little characters. Little Calilius, little Evie, little Shaxori in this like creepy ass world. So that is going to be great fun. And that is going to be released
the week after Halloween.
Okay, amazing. The week after Halloween. That's when it will be out, the week after Halloween, on the Monday. So we will be continuing to upload main podcast episodes on Mondays. But you might be thinking, that's quite far away. There's a few weeks between now and then. So I am going to be running a 2-part one-shot. I'm going to just call it a 2-shot to make life easier. Called The Secrets of Lissenthorn. So I'm actually going to drop a little teaser about that here in a moment, but that will be coming out next Monday and the Monday after, and then the Monday after that will be the first episode of Finding Amethyst. So that's going to be so exciting. So enjoy this little snippet of some of the lore from Secrets of Lissenthorn. In the midst of the chaos, King Cedric, the youngest brother, felt an unfamiliar surge within him. He had never wielded arcane magic before, but in this dire moment, he reached deep into the arcane energies that surrounded them. With outstretched arms and eyes ablaze with newfound power, King Cedric, for the first time in his life, called upon the mystical forces. His voice resonated with an otherworldly power as he summoned the very essence of magic itself. His brothers, along with all who were present, were compelled to stop their fighting and listen. And that is all you get for now. But if you do want to listen to my little 1/2 shot, then you can check that out. Like I say, that the first episode of that will be out in 1 week's time. We are actually recording that the day that this recording is released. So at the time you're listening to this, if you listen to it the day it comes out, we are probably playing right now.
So we don't even know how it's going to go by the time that people listen to this.
Yeah, it could be going literally terrible. I'm joking. I'm sure it's not. Tell you what though, it can actually get so complicated, can't it? Remembering what episode is going out when. Like we record things obviously in advance, and I think last time we were like 4 weeks ahead, and it was just so difficult knowing.
Yeah, it was a little bit stressful with social media trying to sync everything.
So yeah, Secrets of Lissenthorn part 1 will be out on the 23rd of October. Check me out, I actually looked up the dates, which is really good of me. And on that topic, we have been toying with the idea of having guests on the show for the longest time, and it never just felt like the right time because we were kind of just getting into the swing of the campaign, and the same with Finding Amethyst, we'll be getting into it, and therefore it just didn't fit. Whereas because this is a 2-part one-shot or a 2-shot, it just felt like a really good time to play with bringing some guests in. So there's 2 special guests joining us for the Secrets of Lissenthorn, 2 people that I know outside of Roll for Imagination, but I know through D&D, or I know that they play D&D, so we're going to be playing with them, which is going to be so much fun. And another exciting thing that we've got going on at the moment with our refresh, let's call it, a few of us are changing our roles around a little bit in terms of what we do when we are creating the podcast. So of course, Georgie's new role is that she is our new DM. Super excited about that. Joe is going to stay as our note taker and session recap writer because he is amazing at it, and he
remembers everything.
Yeah, literally, he remembers everything, and he's just the perfect person for it, and I think he enjoys it. I'm sure he does. So he's going to keep doing that.
I'm terrible at taking notes. Every time I try, I get about 3 words down, and they're not helpful at all. So I think Joe fits the role perfectly.
Yeah, I agree. He's just literally spot on for the job. Jamie, I wonder if you want to talk about your new role, what you're going to be doing going forward.
Yeah, so with our previous campaign, we obviously had the dungeon discussions, which were like mini episodes that we released on a Friday, I think it was. I should know that because I scheduled them. I think it was Fridays. Yes. But yeah, I was editing those, so they were much smaller, shorter, and less involved than the actual sessions. But I'm now going to be taking on the session editing. So I'm very new to editing, so
You'll be amazing.
Don't judge my skills. I'm going to develop as I edit with this. But, yeah, it's something that I've wanted to do. It will look good on my CV. So yeah, I'm happy to take on the bigger chunk of the editing, and I can take timestamps and things like that for any cool things that happen that we can use later on. But yeah, it should be good, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
100%. Like, I already know you're going to do an amazing job. And then, last but not least, because obviously I was editing the main sessions before, I'm now going to be editing the smaller sessions, the dungeons discussions, things like this. And I'm also going to edit my 1/2 shot that I was talking about. That's coming out next week. So yeah, so many exciting things happening and going on with Roll for Imagination. The story's not over. Our characters are not over.
Yeah.
And we will definitely keep you up to date on everything that's happening.
Yeah. I mean, we've got all of our social media channels, which I'm sure we'll plug at the end of this.
If we remember them.
But we'll try and remember. But yeah, we've got all of our channels and our Discord and everything that will keep people updated. So if we ever have to take a break for some reason, we'll usually post something there. But yeah, any other things that we have coming up, we will let everyone know as they come up.
Awesome. And before we go, I have got a little message to share with you all from our dearest Joe, who, like I said, is on holiday this week, so could not be here to record this with us. But he did want to say a few words. Bless his little heart. So this is a little message from Joe. I've wanted to play D&D for years, but never had the kind of friend group that would play. On a whim, I responded to a post online and have been able to find a group of amazing people. I am so blessed to have found my fellow tribe of weirdos who like to play pretend. Creating a podcast with you all to give back to a community that fostered my love for D&D makes me so happy. I hope that our little game helps to entertain and maybe also inspire even one person to pick up a D20 and roll for their own imagination. So, thank you so much for... Wait, what's the phrase we're supposed to say? Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you for adventuring with us on another upload of Roll for Imagination. I'm sure Jamie can now help us with the social plugs, because I just don't have a clue.
Yeah, I've got them next to me. I was looking for them as you were talking.
You're so prepared and professional.
I'm all good. Yeah, so as we mentioned, we have a bunch of social medias. So we're on TikTok as Roll for Imagination and Twitter and Instagram as Roll Imagination. So there's no spaces, underscores, anything like that. It's all just one word. Whatever platform that you listen to podcasts on, so Spotify, YouTube, hopefully Amazon and Apple. So Spotify and YouTube, they should be going up at the same time. Obviously with me editing the bigger ones now, I should have them at the same time. And then we also have a Discord server, which will be linked in any descriptions and things like that, or they're on our social media. So I don't think there's a way for people to just join via audio. But yeah, we'll make sure that that's linked, and if anyone wants to join that, we have that as well.
Amazing. Okay, thanks everyone for listening, and I really hope that you tune in next week to The Secrets of Listenthorn, where I am going to be DMing. Oh, it's kind of scary but exciting. Bye!